Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different that I haven't really done before. I guess you could say I have, where I talk about movies. I haven't really talked about movies that much. I have like 2 other videos about movies, and one of them was a rant about cuties that people don't agree with me about. But whatever, everybody has their own opinion and you guys can think what you want. But I felt like talking about movies, and I think I want to talk about movies more because I enjoy movies and I want to make movies, so it only makes sense, right? Exactly. So, horror movies are one of my favorite genres, and the thing I love most about horror movies is they can be used to make comments on society and about everyday life and about humanity. It doesn't have to just be people getting sliced up and dying in really gruesome ways. You can really use the horror genre to make a statement. And that is what I feel that the movie It Follows does. I think It Follows teaches us that casual relationships are bad for you, and that if you partake in them, you will die. So if you haven't seen It Follows, it's been out for like, 5 years now? Is it 5 years? Has it been 5 years? It has not been 5 years. I don't know. It's been out for a number of years. I want to say 5, but maybe that 4 or 5 years. How many years has it been out? I'll put it on the screen. In post, I will Google the release date of this movie. This right here. This is when the movie came out. You see that? You see that? This is when the movie came out. It Follows is about a girl named Jay who goes on a date with a boy who she thinks is named Hugh. And they do it, and he gives her a pretty nasty STD that is literally trying to kill her. Now, on the surface, that's what it's about. But I think that the movie is trying to tell the audience that having casual relationships is bad for you. And there's several things throughout the movie that make me feel that way. So let's get into that. According to data compiled at familyfacts.org, children whose parents monitor them more closely are less likely to be sexually active when they are in their teens. Jay and her sister Kelly have 0 adult supervision. The first glimpse we get of her mom is her back, facing away from us, sitting separately from the rest of the characters. In later scenes, we only see half of her face, or we see her from a distance. These angles express the detachment between parents and children. We don't see Jay's dad until we see him in an old family photo, and then later we see him when he becomes the it. Yara, Paul, and Kelly play a game of Old Maid on the porch. In a standard playing deck, every card has a match except the Old Maid. The only way to win the game is to secretly coax other players to draw the Old Maid from your hand. Whomever is left with the Old Maid loses. The message is that commitment, those who remain a pair, are safe from the doom of STDs and unrequited love. The Old Maid herself is a metaphor for the person seeking casual pleasures of the flesh and the loneliness that comes with that lifestyle. She is alone, unmarried, and has no match. Therefore, she is forced onto others through trickery and deceit. Jay asks Yara what she's reading on her seashell Kindle phone thing, and Yara says,
The Idiot? Is it any good? I don't know yet. It's about Paul.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Paul.
The Idiot attempts to illustrate the ideal man through its main protagonist, Prince Michigan. The prince is loving, kind, and honest. He has great compassion for others at a detriment to himself. Paul walks a fine line between hero and creepy guy friend. Like Prince Michigan, in contrast to other characters, Paul's intentions are seemingly pure, even though he comes off a little creepy. Hugh, whose name is actually Jeff, only pretends to be interested in Jay to pass the curse to her. Neighbor Greg seems to care for Jay and admits that he should have been nicer to her, but almost immediately after they do it, he goes on a date with someone else. Paul is the first person to believe Jay when she admits she's being followed. He's the first to offer help, even though she turns him down numerous times. And he offers himself to Jay in an attempt to rid her of the curse, even though the act would put him in danger. Ultimately, it's Paul's commitment to Jay that saves them both from being pursued at the film's end. The only way to break the chain is to commit to the person you've slept with. Prufrock, the poem's speaker, expresses his desire to pursue a relationship with a possible mate, but he's too much of a coward to do so. Other people see Prufrock as inadequate, and they have no problem telling him to his face. Paul is like Prufrock in the way that he desires Jay, but feels powerless to do anything about it until the last minute. Red is used as a symbol for danger numerous times throughout the film. Annie, the girl in the opening scenes, wears red heels as she runs for her life. Hugh wears a red shirt on both dates with Jay. When Jay first spots the old woman at school, a girl in a red jacket walks by. The peeping neighbor boy wears a red sweatshirt as he spies on Jay through her bathroom window, and his red ball flies against the window and startles Jay. And I can't forget to mention the numerous close-ups of Jay's red fingernail polish. The only time the color red appears and is not really seen as a threat is the last scene when Jay and Paul are walking hand in hand. Though a figure walks behind them, it has been established that a person walking isn't necessarily it. A man in the foreground can be seen wearing a red shirt, raking his lawn. He's cleaning, he's tidying up. That signifies a change in the characters, and the scene can also be interpreted as a warning that the curse will still come if Jay's commitment to Paul proves to be untrue. So is it a happy ending? Well, the ending is ambiguous and left up to the viewer's interpretation. That's why there are as many interpretations of this film as there are people who have viewed it. If we assume that Jay can reciprocate Paul's feelings, the couple will be okay and thus break the curse. However, because of the uncertainty in Jay's face and the loose grip she has on Paul's hand, one can only assume that it won't last. The moral of the story is clear. Casual relationships built on lies will ultimately kill you. I think that It Follows was a fantastic movie. It's one of my favorites. I own it on Blu-ray because if I really love a movie, I have to physically own a physical copy. Sometimes owning a digital copy of a movie just isn't enough for me because in my mind, I'm like, well, the internet can just erase it. But if I have a physical copy, then I possess it. And I like having possessions that I can possess. Anyway, that is my opinion about the movie. What do you guys think? When you watched It Follows, what did you think that it meant? How did it make you feel? What were your takeaways? I know that as an aspiring filmmaker, I want to make horror movies that make bold statements like that, you know? And there's a lot of other horror movies that do the same thing, like Get Out and The Babadook and Us, and just great movies that make statements, which I really appreciate. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate those of you who have subscribed to me. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It really helps me out. Click the like button, click the bell so that you're notified when I upload, which is on Sundays. This video is a little late because this week has been crazy, but you know what? We are surviving and thriving over here. Me and my little Gemini. She's asleep on the bed. Hi, Gemini. Yeah, she's out. She's out cold. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye. Yo.